What up, is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads, where we do daily Dynasty Football. Now, we did a mock draft, an NFL draft with Tankathon. Tankathon did the first couple of rounds here. And so we did the 1 through 10 in a separate video yesterday, and now we have 11 through 20. So we last picked Rondale Moore at pick 10. So now we have pick 11, which is Jaylen Waddle. So between these two wide receivers, they're very similar in, I think, value and fantasy value. Jaylen Waddle was picked 22 picks ahead of Rondale Moore in this NFL draft, but in, I think, a worse spot. So when Rondale Moore was picked round 2, pick 41 to the Lions, Jaylen Waddle was picked 1 and then 19. So pick 19 for the Washington mystery team. I think they're picking a name here, but they're Washington for now. We don't know who Washington's quarterback's going to be. And I am a little surprised that they picked Jaylen Waddle at 19. I mean, they have Sims, they have Scary Terry, who's awesome. They don't really need they do need a wide receiver, but that's not what they need primarily. They got a lot of other things that they need as well. But whatever, they did the mock, not me. So Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver number 5, incredibly talented at punt return, kick return, and you put the ball in his hands and he can be very, very, very scary. Not a Scary Terry, but just a scary Waddle, I guess. I don't know. Whatever it is. All right, number 12. So this is, I really like the location of this tight end. This is usually my tight end number 3. But in this situation, he moves up to tight end number 2. This is Bryce Jordan. And so Bryce Jordan and Pat Freiermuth have been very, very close together. But Bryce Jordan goes to the Jags in the 3rd round. And that was with the 65th pick. So that's the first pick, that's the first pick of the 3rd round. Wow. Yeah. And so, that just kind of hit my brain there all at once. But Trevor Lawrence is going to be there, of course. And Trevor Lawrence is going to have DJ Shark. They're going to have Laviska Shenault. And now you're going to have Bryce Jordan there across the middle of the field and stuff. I really, really like Bryce Jordan's location there compared to some of the other, or compared to at least Pat Freiermuth. So Bryce Jordan, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to find that tight end in this situation. And so that's why Bryce Jordan is, again, pretty high. And if we're talking 12-team league, he is a 1st round pick. That's 2 tight ends in the 1st round. That doesn't happen very often. I mean, Hawkinson and Fant, maybe both of them went in the 1st round. Maybe one of them dropped out. But, I mean, tight end premium, again, moving Bryce Jordan up ahead of Waddle, ahead of Rondale Moore in these situations. That's one of the perfect spots for the, I mean, you know, being at a Jag, Trevor Lawrence is going to be there forever, probably. And so, or at least 5-10 years. And that's going to be great for Bryce Jordan the next 5-10 years. Number 13, basically number 3 in this mock draft. We have wide receiver number 6, and this is Terrence Marshall. Man, this is such a hit or miss spot, and I don't know what to feel about this, but he went to the 46th overall pick in the 2nd round, and this is a New England Patriot. New England Patriots, I don't know what they have to get a new quarterback. They cannot rely on Stidham and Newton. If they have Stidham and Newton and you see that Terrence Marshall is there, and that's all they have, Terrence Marshall moves way down. But I'm assuming with this mock draft that they're gonna get a quarterback. Somebody. They're gonna have to get somebody. Because honestly, N'Keal Harry, I don't like his profile. I mean, he profiles more of like Laquan Treadwell, like doesn't get separation or anything like that. Terrence Marshall's a different wide receiver. New England, I'd rather have like a smaller wide receiver like Kadarius Toney or Rondale Moore. Like, I'd rather have them choose that, or even Elijah Moore, something different, not Terrence Marshall. And I don't think they would pick Terrence Marshall, but that's what you get. So, all right, number 14, as we just mentioned, it is going to be Kadarius Toney, and he is not one of my top 10 wide receivers chosen in the regular just rankings, but when you have high draft capital, this is the 2nd pick. Yep, 2nd pick in the 2nd round, which is number 34. He went to the Jets. So he is going to be used, of course, kind of probably into that like Jamison Crowder type role. Think of Kadarius Toney being a small, elite separation getter. Like, he's going to be in the slot, just separating and really getting these short and intermediate throws. Denzel Mims is going to be lined up on the outside, going to be running these deeper routes. And so both are going to be utilized very well. And I like both of the wide receivers. The biggest problem is Kadarius Toney drops the ball, and it just doesn't make sense. I know, like, in the Senior Bowl, they were doing all these different things, and he would just separate and burn this cornerback. And then he would drop the ball. It's like, well, hopefully he can figure that out. And with somebody that has had drops, they don't usually improve in the NFL. So hopefully he does figure this out. And even if he does have some drops, see him as being a really good PPR guy, because he's going to catch a lot of these short routes in this system. So Kadarius Toney. And in this case, I don't know if they drafted a quarterback or not. I didn't check. So they may have drafted a quarterback. They may have Sam Darnold. Either way, Kadarius Toney, wide receiver number 7, pick 14. Pick number 15. This is my my route runner slash kind of Keenan Allen type. Can play on the outside. This is going to be Jaylen Wallace, and he's going to be my wide receiver 8. He got drafted in the 3rd round. This is pick 84 to Chicago. I think he's going to immediately try to go into the Allen Robinson role. He doesn't play exactly like Allen Robinson, but I could see him being in the Allen Robinson role. We have Darius Mooney, and I'm trying to think who else they have. Or Darnell Mooney, sorry. They have Darnell Mooney, who's awesome. They have Anthony Miller, who's, I mean, that's what Anthony Miller, he's so frustrating. I didn't like him. He started producing, so I was like, okay, I'll do a little bit of investment with him. And then he literally just did nothing, and Darnell Mooney just took over. And I'm like, whatever. There's some players that will do that to you. They'll tease you, and you're like, okay, fine. Like, I didn't like you, but I like you a little bit. And then they just burn your bridge. That's Anthony Miller. Anyways, Darnell Mooney's there, but in this case, Jaylen Wallace is going to be that good route runner, that good receiver that fits in Allen Robinson's role. And we don't know if Trubisky's going to be the quarterback there or not, but it seems like that's going to be the case. In this case, another wide receiver that was not my top 10 wide receivers pre-mock draft, but it's going to be Elijah Moore. Again, a shorter wide receiver. We have A.J. Brown on the outside and A.J. Brown pretty much in the inside and running over people. A.J. Brown does whatever A.J. Brown wants to do, but they're going to have to fill kind of Corey Davis's role. I mean, Elijah Moore is completely different than Corey Davis. I mean, Corey Davis is a big wide receiver that has all these different attributes. Elijah Moore is a shorter, smaller wide receiver, almost like a kind of a Scotty Miller type. I mean, he's the classic, like, New England wide receiver that would be in kind of that slot form. And so I could definitely see him being utilized a bunch to help this offense come along, because you have A.J. Moore that makes big plays. You have A.J. Did I say Moore or Brown? I might have said Moore. Man, I am losing it today. I think it's the cold weather that's just free. It's like 0 degrees outside. But anyway, A.J. Brown. You have A.J. Brown on the outside. You have Derrick Henry running through people. But you have these short 3rd down plays that Tennessee constantly, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, that Tennessee keeps having issues with. And I think that Elijah Moore is going to be a perfect fit for this offense. I love this pick with Elijah Moore being, and he might be better for the team than he will be for fantasy, but it is what it is. My pick number 17, which is my tight end pre-mock, tight end 2 pre-mock, tight end 3 now, which he went to Carolina. So these next 2 players are going to be Carolina. So you might have to wait to see who the next Carolina player is. But Pat Freiermuth, he is a really good just tight end in general, and I think that he fits well with versus having Ian Thomas there. I mean, we have DJ Moore, we have Curtis Samuel's probably gone, we have Robbie Anderson, so you have 2 really good wide receivers. You just need, again, somebody that plays in the role that covers the middle of the field, that does well there. Besides CMC, you need that good tight end, and Pat Freiermuth has okay blocking. Not amazing blocking, not horrible blocking, but Pat Freiermuth, I think, will be really good for the team and really good for a rookie quarterback, because number 18 is going to be Trey Lance. Trey Lance is basically going to probably fit more of a Cam Newton role than a Teddy Bridgewater role, because Trey Lance can run, and he has really good, like, mobility to get out of the pocket and stuff like that. I really do like Trey Lance as just a prospect in general. And that's why he's picked number 8 in this NFL draft, which people go, well, he wasn't the second QB taken in this mock in the NFL. Well, I know, but I mean, there's a lot of times quarterbacks that are 3rd, 4th are the best QBs in fantasy, which we've seen that with Josh Allen. We've seen that with Deshaun Watson. We've seen that with Pat Mahomes. Those were all picks not in the top 5. Those were after that. And they were not the first quarterback taken. They weren't even the second quarterback taken. They were after that. So this is going to be Trey Lance. I think he's going to be the second best fantasy asset. Pick number 8, I guess, in the second round, or pick 18. At this point, or no, yeah, pick 18. Yeah, and so at this point, I take him, and I think he has a ton of weapons around him, which really helps a rookie quarterback. And he doesn't have to do a ton to be successful in the NFL, which is what I like. And then he has that mobility that you can add on some of that 40, 50 yards rushing, and it's perfect. Number 19 is going to be my third quarterback, and this is going to be a lot of people's quarterback too, but it's Justin Fields. And of course, he went to the Atlanta Falcons in this mock, and he was pick number 4, which makes me think, what happened to Matt Ryan? Did he get traded in this mock, or will Justin Fields just sit a year behind Matt Ryan, or what in the world's going on? But ultimately, Justin Fields is a super talented quarterback, and he does need some time to work through progressions and stuff like that. So if he ends up actually sitting a year, it's not the end of the world. But at pick 19, I really like him compared to any of the other running backs and wide receivers, where they landed, where they got drafted. That's just, yeah, that's where he's going to be, pick 19. Pick 20 is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. So wide receiver 6, and he went to Baltimore, and so Baltimore is going to be an interesting spot because I really don't care for Baltimore, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of my favorite, I guess, tier 3 wide receivers. He was my wide receiver 6 pre-mock, and now he's being drafted as wide receiver 10. So he was picked in the 58th pick in the second round, and so ultimately I don't really care for that spot. And we already know that Lamar has a very big limitation on his passing game. So this is a tough pick. And I really am picking based on talent here, because I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I think he'll be better suited for a Lamar passing game than like, I guess, Marquise Brown. I mean, I could see him being more of like a Willie Snead role, but better at route running and better at catching. I don't know. The other picks that I wanted to pick more running backs, but in this mock, they were drafted 4th, 5th, 6th round. Chuba Hubbard was drafted to the Giants. Like, these are just spots that, again, you're going to end up having players that you really like. And Chuba's a good player. I mean, usually he's a 16, 15, somewhere around there. But, I mean, if you're getting picked to the Giants, I just don't see him taking over Barkley's spot. I mean, I don't see Barkley moving anytime soon. So it's like, I'm not going to just sit on a running back and have him just, I mean, at this point, it's just kind of worthless. So, like, it's sad. Like, sometimes that happens to players. And so this is why we do some of the mock drafts. So if you enjoy the mock draft, the mock the landing spot draft, please just let me know. And please comment, just say, hey, I liked it, or I didn't like it, I'd rather just do a mock without landing spots. That's fine, I can do that too. But this is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. Subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, see you tomorrow.